Hello my friends, welcome to another watercolor tutorial. We are painting another abstract painting today because I am on a roll with the abstract paintings. I feel it's a nice change from what I usually do, which is more like precise landscapes. So this is another kind of landscape. So I have my piece of paper positioned in portrait. I've taped the borders so I can peel the tape off later and have nice clean edges. And I am going to start off with a blue, any blue that you have. This is for a kind of dark, not dark, but a winter sky. And about, I would say halfway down is where I will start my, I don't want to call it a horizon, but it's kind of what it is. And I'm going to paint this upwards. So the whole top half is going to be this nice blue color. Now the thing is that you want to work kind of, oh shoot, I already messed up. This is, by the way, inspired by Eugenia Gorbacheva art. And I already messed up. Oh, I'm really tempted to just restart this tutorial because I messed up, but no, I'm not going to, because that's what you guys really like. You like when I mess up and fix an issue, so I'm going to try my best, but man, I did not think this through. Okay, we want to have two houses here, and I also want the horizon line, quote, horizon line. I want it to be kind of uneven, and I've made it very straight right now. And the thing is, I wanted to paint two houses and leave like a white space for the roof, but we can always just put acrylic paint instead. So I've made the bottom kind of, you know what I mean by jaggedy, like kind of like this. And I'm gonna do another one. This one's gonna be reddish. So I have a red and a brown house, like so. This will do. And I'm gonna have orange trees. So I've taken orange, and I want to have a nice, like a bigger tree here. So I'm just putting some orange brush strokes there. It'll come up, I'll like paint it in later. And I want this kind of background area to be darker, like this. I kind of overpowered the trees. I didn't want to do that, but that's because I had too much water on my paintbrush. That's why that happened. So what I'm doing is taking a clean brush and just like picking that up. And I'm gonna take some more orange and okay, that's like yellow. Gosh, what a disaster. There we go. That's orange. That's what I wanted to do. And have it kind of come up like this. Voila. A little bit of kind of darken that tree orange that I painted earlier. Right now, remember guys, this looks like nothing, but that's because it's abstract and it will come together at the end. That is the hope. That doesn't always happen, but one can hope. I also forgot to paint. I wanted to paint like a darker shadowy here thing for the like other trees that are growing in the background. So I'm just doing that real quick before the background dries. Like so. Okay, while that is drying, I'm not really a fan actually of, I wanted it to be more effortless looking, and right now it looks like I'm trying too hard. with these areas here. But you can't win them all, guys. You can't win them all. So I'll just take what I can get there. Okay, next we will take like a, I don't know what color of blue this is. Use whatever blue you have. You can just use a watered down version of what you used for the sky. And we want to create like an abstract shadowy pattern on the bottom here. So I'm going to have a fence that kind of goes like this. And from that fence, I want there to be shadows. So that the posts, I want the posts to have shadows. So that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to just fill that side in. And yeah, I don't really have like an exact science for this. I'm just painting these little shadows, and you can try and mimic exactly where I'm painting them, or you can kind of follow your own guide or your own, intuition. I'm just taking some black and mixing that in just for a little bit of contrast. Whether that looks good, I don't really like it actually, so I'm gonna try and blend that in a little bit. I'm gonna keep it like that, I suppose. So I need this all to dry now before I can kind of add the little final details that will make this really come together. But one thing that you can prepare for is to have white acrylic paint, because I messed up with the houses earlier, so we need to use something opaque. And actually, I have my watercolor is quite opaque, so I probably could use the white, but I already have acrylic paint here, so that's what I'm going to use. Let's let this dry. Okay, let us begin. I need to kind of define these houses a tiny bit better than they are now, because right now they're just a little sad looking. But maybe, actually, no, I'm gonna, before I do that, I am first going to just take the white acrylic paint and make my roofs. So it's like a trapezoid shape. A trapezoid on top of a rectangle. Or you can just make it one big trapezoid. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I am trying too hard. It has to be abstract. It has to be effortless. Whoops. You can always make your house bigger if you make your roof too big accidentally. So the last few days it has been so cold. Like minus 18 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. But I follow a lot of like homesteading accounts on social media, and they all seem to be having a cold snap, so I guess it's part of some kind of weather system that is being felt universally across North America. Wow, those really look ugly. That is not what I was intending for. Well, what am I gonna do now? Those roofs look horrible. Not the abstract, effortless look that I was going for. I painted like another nice abstract painting, no, it's not really similar to this one, but it's kind of similar, and that one turned out, the roofs were so nice. Sometimes it works out. In this case, it did not. I'm just taking blue watercolor and maybe mixing it in, hoping to create some sort of shadow. But right now it looks quite bad. So I'm gonna leave that, because maybe if we paint the rest of the house, it'll perk back up. I already don't like it. You can't have it all. I'll just make my roof bigger. And maybe add like a little chimney to it. Oh my gosh, it's already 2 p.m. Holy baloney. So I'm taking black here. For a little chimney addition. And I'm gonna have a little bit of white lining it for some snow, and you could add like smoke coming out of it as well, but I am not gonna do that. I'm just switching to a smaller, like a liner brush here, and I want to paint, what do I want to paint? I want to paint the stumps or the trunks of my trees. So I'm first going to take like a blackish brown, and this tree is going to start here. And it's going to go up like this. And I'm going to have another one like that. And I want these guys to have little trunks as well. So that's good. And that's fine. You can paint as many as you like. Oh, I can't forget about this guy back here. And I'm going to add a white acrylic paint as like an accent beside them, because it makes it look a little bit more effortless rather than this very like defined black line. But I'm just trying to be careful because I don't want it to be too thick, that white line. But you can see now that we're adding all these little details and we're not being like super hyper particular, that it is kind of starting to come together. I mean, you guys might have a different opinion, but I like how it's coming together. It's like even the roofs kind of worked out in the end. Although we're not quite done yet, so. But in my opinion, it's coming together. okay. So the other thing that I want to add to this is a fence. And if you've been watching my recent videos, I've been painting a lot of things with fences. And I just like them because they add something extra to the painting. It's like a very simple detail, but it makes it look so much more professional. You may or may not have that same opinion, but that is my opinion. So the fence, as I mentioned like 10 minutes ago, is going to run diagonally like this. We want to keep the top part of the posts pretty consistent in height. We're just going to shorten them from the bottom, and that's what's going to give us perspective. So you can either start with the biggest one or the one furthest away. I'm going to start with the one furthest away. So I'm going to start around here. So it's going to look kind of like that, and progressively each one is going to be a little bit longer from the bottom. We're trying to keep the top fairly consistent. Again, it doesn't have to be exact, but also the closer we get to the viewer, the further we want these posts away from one another. And you can paint them on very jaggedy. It'll add to the whole abstract look that we're going for, like this. And you can always add like a couple just in between, and you can add little cross posts if you like. Mine are very abstract. Oh, I don't like how shallow this fence is. So what I'm gonna do is maybe just add like a little fence in the distance, like so. That's nice. We can always add one here too. Maybe. And see, this is what I really like about like using looking at reference paintings when I'm painting something, because I almost always end up adding something that wasn't in the original painting to make it my own. And now it's kind of like a driveway. And oh my gosh, I love how, see, this has come together so nicely. I think, in my opinion, it has come together so nicely. The fence really makes abstract paintings pop. Like, the fence is what makes the painting. That's how I feel about these guys. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to peel the tape off my painting here. Oh my gosh, first time I got it off in one go in a really long time. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial.